We're getting started right away with today's sophisticated Saturday and making pita bread that's gonna go with our dinner a little bit later. So all that I'm adding into my bowl right now is 2 cups of warm water, 4 teaspoons of dry active yeast, and then half a cup of all-purpose flour and whisking it together. Then the bowl just needs to sit aside for about 15 minutes until everything looks nice and bubbly. So while that sits for 15 minutes, I'm going to pop into the living room and do a quick pickup of all of the toys and random things that are thrown about here. I'm all about multitasking, especially when I'm trying to get a bunch of things done like I am on today's sophisticated Saturday. So instead of just sitting there and scrolling my phone or whatever else I might be doing, it is easy for me to pick up the living room. Once it's been about 15 minutes, then I can head back into the kitchen and add the remainder of the flour, which is another 4 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of whole wheat flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, and then I'm also adding in 4 tablespoons of olive oil, mixing that together until I get a nice dough. Feel free to use your hands to make sure it gets nice and incorporated. Your hands are gonna get dirty anyway because you need to knead it on the countertop as well in just a second. Once it is all incorporated, or as much as you can, then I sprinkle some flour on my kitchen countertop and get to kneading.
You say you need perfection, but you're giving it, giving it, giving it. Oh, I'm walking on water, I'm crossing over in the night, walking on water, I'm born a soldier, baby, finally.
You should knead it for about 2 minutes until it's smooth. You can cover and let it rest, and then knead it again if you want, and then put it in a clean mixing bowl, cover it tightly with plastic wrap or a towel, and then keep the bowl in a warm place and let it rise until it's doubled for about an hour.
What you said, don't be trying to carry a load, every heavy stone, baby, baby, let it out, baby, baby, let it out.
A random task on today's to-do list was to move the couch and vacuum under it. We like to do this every now and then because it gets dusty under there. We also tend to lose toys back there, so it is a win-win. We actually didn't find any toys, I don't think. This is kind of a 2-person job, so I recruited Jim's help. He was the one who actually wanted to do this. He was all in for helping, which is nice because this couch is heavy, and then putting it back together can be difficult because it's a sectional. The pieces latch together, and it's nice to have somebody as the eyes to make sure it is hooking together and somebody as the manpower actually lifting it.
I'm born a soldier, baby, finally, I'm over.
I'm just going through and vacuuming under each section, and then I grabbed our quick mop to do a little bit of a mop under there as well. Figured might as well because we're not under there all the time. And I am also going to double check all of the furniture pads, make sure there are soft feet on all of the 4 corners of each part of the sectional.
When I drift away, when I fall into my own world, in a heartbeat I know I'll take.
And the mop has a little sprayer, and I sprayed part of the wall, so I didn't want that to damage the wood. I grabbed a microfiber cloth to wipe that down while Jim was fixing the feet on that last end piece of the couch.
Through the windows, in the morning I can't be sure.
The other one that was next to it also had some problems with the furniture pad, so we're fixing those too, and then we are going to start putting it back together, which is the most difficult part of the process.
It better be good, it
I could have gone through and lifted all of the cushions and rotated them and vacuumed under there, but I don't think I had the strength in me today to do that. So I was just vacuuming in areas that I saw there were some crumbs and rotating any cushions that looked like they had really sunken in. I would like to think we got kind of better at this as we went along. The last few pieces seemed to click in a little bit better than the first piece, which seemed to take us forever.
We'll be taking my visions far away, make me stray.
While I had Jim's help, I washed the sheets before I started this video, so they were already dried and washed, so I wanted him to help me make the bed. This also feels like a two-person job. I can do it myself, or he can do it himself, but it's much easier when we work as a team, so this is something we like to do together. A king mattress is so heavy I can barely lift up even a corner of it to tuck things in, so Jim popped on my side to help me out and lift it up so we could get the sheet tucked in under there. Next up is the duvet cover. I really like having a duvet cover because it makes it so easy to wash it. If you have just a quilt, it is a little bit more difficult to wash, but then again, you don't have to deal with the whole process of taking the duvet cover on and off and on and off, which is my least favorite part of making the bed. And I don't wash the duvet cover every time I wash the sheets, but when I do, it is a pain to get that duvet back into the duvet cover. Once we finished up making the bed, I am going to switch over the laundry. I had some darks that had gone in the washing machine, so I'm going to move those over to the dryer and put some dryer balls in there. I'm sure you saw I took a little bit of lavender essential oil on the dryer ball just to give it an extra boost of scent.
The world is moving on. I'm still standing here, searching for steady ground, a place to settle down.
Next, I'm going to put our rags in the washing machine. Those needed to be washed, and I usually use Branch Basics as our laundry detergent. It is scent-free and very gentle, but for our rags that I use for cleaning, I want a little bit of a deeper clean, so I do use Tide with OxiClean on our cleaning rags.
Cross the rivers, anywhere with you. I won't give up, I'll take my chances, and I will follow you.
I had a few things in our laundry room sink, some pump parts and bottle parts that I was cleaning up. This is pretty much the end of the breastfeeding journey for me, so luckily this won't be a task that I have to do much longer, cleaning the pump and bottle parts, which I am very happy about.
I make the same mistakes, forget how much it takes, no reasons left behind. One day I'll make you.
There was still more time for the bread to rise, so I wanted to spend a little bit of time in my office, which was a disaster, so I needed to clean it up, and I also had a few label orders that I needed to fulfill, so I'm going to hop in my office, sit down and do some of those label orders, and then pick it up quickly before I head back into the kitchen.
And I will run across the rivers, anywhere with you. I won't give up.
I'm so fortunate to have this very large office that has two sides of it, and that I can use half of it for sophisticated organization and use the other half for my day job. But it does get a little chaotic, and cluttered in my office, especially at the end of a long week, because I am spending time in here working and I have notes that are going places, or we also keep our files in here, office supplies in here. So sometimes things just get dropped off in the office. So doing a weekend pickup, if I can do it on Fridays after work before I'm done for the day, I try and do that. But if not, I always do it on Saturday or Sunday to reset before the next week.
I wonder if you hear me, 'cause I've been crying out.
The dough is done, and I did double this recipe, so I was sharing with you the double batch for the recipe. You are supposed to break it into 8 pieces, so I am going to break it into 16 pieces and make them into little balls and then just cover them with a damp towel for about 10 minutes. While those sit under the towel, I am going to get my rolling pin together and then start rolling them out into small disc shapes. They should be about 1/8 of an inch thick, maybe about 6 or 8 inches in diameter. And there is baby Owen. He just woke up from his nap, so Jim brought him down so he could see what I was working on. He's always so sweet when he wakes up from naps. But I have preheated the oven to 475 degrees. I've had a baking sheet in there warming up while the oven was heating up. And then I am going to put 3 pitas at a time. It depends on how big your baking sheet is and how big your pitas are. And you put them in the oven. And this is seriously so simple. You bake them for 2 minutes, flip them over, bake them for 1 more minute, and that's it. So after 3 minutes, they are done. I can pull them out and then do 3 more and continue with that process. 2 minutes, flip, 1 more minute of baking, and then do the next batch. While they bake, I roll out the next ones because I try and keep them under that damp towel until they're ready to go. And here is what one of the finished pitas look like. You'll see it actually makes a pocket in the inside. Some are better than others. They're not all perfect, but it's pretty impressive for homemade, and it really is not that difficult to make. So now we got Owen. Jim's hanging out with us again, and we are going to fold laundry because it's not quite dinner time. Well, the goal was to fold laundry. If you could tell, Owen's just throwing laundry. But it is fun to do this as a family. Owen's usually pretty entertained by laundry, which is good for us because we can let him play in the laundry while we get it folded.
Spin me around and around, turn me upside down. Spin me around and around, let me feel.
He's so cute back there with the pillows, trying to climb them and them just squishing underneath him. Jim's showing him how to throw stuff, doing a little bit less folding, but that is a-okay.
Tell me I'm not dreaming. I'm not dreaming. Hold me, tell me I'm not dreaming. I'm not dreaming.
Then Owen wanted to get down, so I helped him down, and he wanted to crawl around a little bit and hang out by my feet.
I'm the only one. I've been lost and found. I've been on the ground. I've been hiding out while shouting out. You would open up. Oh, spin me around and around. Turn me upside down. Spin me around and around. Let me feel.
I usually do laundry during the week. I do our lights on Tuesdays and our darks on Fridays, but when I do it on the weekend, it's kind of fun that we can fold as a family. So we share the work a little bit more. And it makes a task that I typically don't like a little bit more bearable because we just chat and catch up. I'm sure you can tell we're chatting back and forth. And Owen feels like he's hanging out with us, having some fun. So Jim grabbed him and threw him back on the bed, and I think he was starting to get a little bit impatient and wanted to be held. I don't know why I seem to have so much more laundry than Jim, so it takes me a lot longer to fold. Now the impossible task of hugging and holding Owen while I fold laundry, so I gave up. Went to the laundry room, grabbed a wool dryer ball for him to play with because he loves throwing balls, and that entertained him until I could finish with my laundry.
Oh, spin me around and around, turn me upside down, spin me around and around, let me feel, spin me again and again, till I'm upside down, call it again and again, my name, turn me upside down, turn me upside down. Been on the ground, I've been hiding out while shouting out, you would open up. Oh, spin me around and around, turn me upside down, spin me around and around, let me feel, spin me again and again, till I'm upside down, call it again and again.
Getting closer to dinner time, with the pitas, I am making salmon patties. I thawed out some salmon a little bit earlier. This is frozen salmon. You could use fresh salmon as well, but I'm putting 4 fillets into my food processor, as well as 1 egg, and getting that nice and blended up.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say what's wrong.
I've gotten rid of all of the large chunks, so I'm going to take the blade out and just mix the rest of the ingredients in the bowl. But Owen is back, ready to hang out. He was crawling around my feet and wanted to be picked up. So I'm adding in some different spices, some dill and pepper and garlic powder. You can get creative with this. Oregano maybe would be great. Then I'm adding in lemon zest, and for the most part, eyeballing everything. I'm finishing off the spices with salt and pepper, and then I had chives. I'm gonna chop up those chives, toss those in the bowl, and mix it up. Really simple. I'm taking my hands. It helps if your hands are a little bit moist, but I'm going to put those into ball and patty shapes, keep them on a plate until I'm ready to cook them. And you could cook these a variety of different ways. You could cook them on the stovetop, on a skillet. You could grill them if you wanted to, or you could even air fry them.
In my surroundings, you radiate your love sensation.
To go with the salmon patties, I'm making a quick tzatziki sauce with feta and Greek yogurt, squeezing some lemon juice in there, which just went everywhere, and chopping up fresh mint leaves. I also added in a little bit of garlic. I love garlic, and you could add some salt and pepper in there to make the yogurt taste just a little bit more on the savory end. I chose to air fry ours, so I am going to put them in the air fryer at 400 for about 8 minutes or so. And that is it. We are going to have some deconstructed salmon burgers with our little yogurt sauce, some cucumbers, red onions, and tomatoes on the side, and have a family meal. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I will see you guys later.